If you're wondering why I'm dressed like this, there's a reason. Because today's video, we're discussing the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And if you haven't ever seen it, um, it's sort of like, say, you know all those films that you watch where basically all your friends know all the lines and they're just watching it and then they'll say it before even the characters will do? That's sort of like this. It has its fandom, and that it's a musical, which it's a the production is like a parody tribute to science fiction and horror B movies of from the 1930s through the early 1970s. The film starred Tim Curry, Susan Sarandon, Barry Bostwick, and along with cast members from the original Royal Court Theatre in England. It's sort of some of the costumes in the film directly impacted the development of punk music trends, like say for like costumes, like say for fishnets and dyed hair. It also, for one thing, it also did was like say it also gave the idea of like say the midnight screening, which was basically like you'd see a like a show like a film and then there'd be a bunch of people there like basically everyone would be like singing along with the song or be saying things back during the show, like say, "Oh, that character is a B word," or "Oh, darn girl, that she's really dirty." Like for example, like say when like if you've seen the movie but you've only seen it on DVD, then it doesn't really count as having seen it because like when and you're at like say the theater when you're actually seeing it at a movie theater with a bunch of people, then you've technically, if you haven't seen it in theaters, then technically, in like fandom cases, you'd be considered a virgin. But in the case of like if you've seen it with a other bunch of people, like if you've seen it with, if seen the movie, if you've seen a stage show version of it, no offense to anyone who's are watching this, but then you probably already know then that audience member is a bit of a slut, and that's not trying to be offensive. Basically, that's how the fan base works. That's what they say about each other. That's what the terms for the fandom is, I guess. It's really kind of silly. So see, um, for those that don't know the story centers on a young engaged couple whose car breaks down near a castle, who had just recently just and who just recently just got married, and they sing and their car breaks down in the middle of the rain near a castle where they seek a telephone to call for help. The castle is occupied by strangers in elaborate costumes celebrating an annual convention. They discover the head of the house is Frank Frankenfurter, an apparent mad scientist who is actually an alien transvestite who creates a living muscle man in his laboratory. The couple is seduced separately by the mad scientist and eventually released by the servants who take control. Um, is the film like has a really large international following, and also it was also selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry to the Library of Congress in 2005. It also has its sequel. It's shock treatment, but it's not as good. It's okay. Um, some of the most songs that are really well known from it are not gonna be offended. Please, I hope I don't trigger or offend anyone or be too offensive. But then again, this film sort of is tongue in cheek. It's kind of like silly. It's supposed to be funny. You're not supposed to be taking it super seriously. It's a B movie type of show. Some of the most favorite of the songs from the fan base are the Time Warp. Let's do the Time Warp again. Sweet which is sang by Riff Raff, Magenta, the Criminologists, Columbia, and Transylvanians. Sweet Transvestite, which is sang by by Frankenfurter. Touch Me, that's another one of the well-known songs. But overall, the most well-known song of it is The Time Warp. It has a lot of its fan bases. It was also the theatrical. It's also the first role that Tim Curry actually did in his career. And it starred also. And also, fun fact, Tim Curry, he went to see a Midnight Showing in the film. It was a lot of a theater thought he was an imposter, so he was kicked out of the theater. That theater probably messed up. There's also going to be a coming soon sometime. This month will be it's a not really a remake, but it's a live TV reimagining of the show of the but it's not say just a remake of the movie. It's a remake slash it's a tribute to 1975 film, and also it'll be directed by Kenny Ortega using the original script from the production show by Richard O'Brien and Jim Sharman. And it'll be airing on October 20th, which is a few days from now. So, yeah. Looks pretty good. But overall, this is just my opinion. But I think the Rocky Horror Picture Show is pretty good. Although it's a really good show, it's funny, it's fun. Although one thing you do have to remind yourself, it is tongue-in-cheeky. It is not to be taken seriously. It's just all around supposed to be just a film that you watch with. They are just supposed to be fun. And another aspect of the film is that it also was a big, huge. It's a really big, aspect of the LGBT community, and overall, has its place in history as bringing the start of Tim Curry's career, and it's just a fun film. It's just what else do you mean to say? It's just all that is. It's just, if you've seen it, you get it. If you haven't, check it out. And if you can, try and find it. But if it's possible, try and find it in the theater. It's more fun for a group of audience. But that's just my thoughts on Rocky Horror Picture Show. You may have different thoughts. I hope I'm not offending anyone with the. But I'll see you next time.